Okay, so here we are again. It's time for this month's new moon meditation. The new moon is going to take place on July 20th, which is a Monday, and it'll be at about 12:34 p.m. So early in the afternoon. Bright day for us. But as we've talked about before, any time in the 24 hours preceding and also the 24 hours afterward is still a good time to work with this energy, and it's always a good time to meditate. So with that, let's get started. You can close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so, and feel the chair, the ground, supporting you and holding your body up. And relax fully into that support so that your body can rest and relax and your mind can focus during this time. And we breathe together, breathing in a nice deep breath into the belly, feeling that belly expand and release. That felt good. Let's do that again. Nice big breath into the belly and release. And as we just follow the breath and allow the breath to flow naturally in and out of our lungs, we envision ourselves at the top of an escalator. And this escalator is going down, it's running, it's operating. And we're standing there looking around. We're surrounded by clouds and sky, the white puffy clouds of a beautiful summer afternoon. We feel warm but not hot. And there's a breeze caressing our skin. And the escalator is continuing to run, and so we decide when we're ready to take a step onto the escalator and step on and let it carry us downward. Very smoothly, very quietly, very gently. We ride the escalator down. We put our hand on the rail and just stand and watch as we move through the clouds downward. And after a little while, we start to notice that the atmosphere around us is changing. The clouds are leaving. We're leaving the clouds behind. And we're coming out into a wide open space. And this space is a deep blue darkness of nighttime, a deep blue darkness of outer space. We can see stars. So many stars. We feel our body continuing to relax as we look around at the stars. We feel completely safe. We feel warm. We come to the bottom of the escalator and we step off. And we settle ourselves into this space. There's a chair here. We can sit there in the chair and lean back and look up at the stars.
And as we look up, we become aware that we are at a vibration and a connection with Spirit. And we invite in at this point the Ascended Masters, guides, angels, fairies, and any other sacred connection that you feel needs to be brought to this. And in doing so, we open ourselves to the wisdom, the process of awakening that we have within us, to be willing to go deeply into a deep spiritual connection of holding sacred space. And as we are in this sacred moment, we begin to note that this is a new moon that is coming at this time. And this new moon brings with it creation. This is that point where we are allowed to co-create what is coming ahead. We open ourselves up to the awareness that this new moon gives us new opportunity. It gives us a new voice. And we allow ourselves to hear that voice coming from within and making a difference. We also are aware that the new moon, in its process, is making a transition, is shifting. And that brings a shift to the way in which our emotions work. We may notice that there is more energy in an emotional direction at this time as we hold this sacred space with this new moon. And we honor that.
This moon is in the sign of Cancer. The new moon is when the sun and the moon are together in the same space. And if you might remember that we had another new moon just exactly 28 days ago, and it was also in the sign of Cancer. So this is fairly unusual, because each sign is 30 degrees, and when we had our first new moon in Cancer 28 days ago, it was at about 0 degrees Cancer, so just barely inside of Cancer. And now it's at 28 degrees Cancer, so still barely inside, almost ready. The sun is almost ready to leave Cancer. And the reason we talk about the new moon being the start of a creative phase, a creative time, is because in a visual sense, as we stand here on Earth and watch the movements of the planets and watch the moon, we are entering into a 2-week phase where the moon seems to grow visually every night. Every night there is, starting with the new moon where there's 0% illuminated, it gradually grows and grows. And so we use this energy of the growing of the light of the moon to enhance our growth of things that we want to see grow here on Earth. And so that might be plants. Sometimes people will plant seeds at the new moon, believing that the energy of the growing moon enhances the growth of the plants. Sometimes people will start a new project at the time of the new moon with that same principle of whatever we start in a growing phase will grow more easily. And so we can think about things that we want to grow. At the full moon, we can then think about things that we want to diminish, because the moon will start to have less and less and less light on it as it goes from full back to a new moon. So the full moon is a good time to lose weight, for instance, because you can shrink yourself along with shrinking the moon. This moon and sun they're both in the sign of Cancer, which is a sign of emotion, a sign of home and family and nurturing. And so this is a good time to stay home if you need to, if you can. And it's a good time to nurture ourselves. So maybe something like preparing a meal for ourselves or our family and serving that. And, being with ourselves, being with one another in that spirit of love and acceptance. Those are all very Cancer things. Right now, the moon and the sun in Cancer are directly opposite Saturn, which is in Capricorn. And Saturn can be about restrictions. And so, what this can be, how I'm seeing it is some of our events in the wider world of taking precautions, taking care of our health, and things to do to restrict the growth of the virus. And so we can work with that energy, and we can honor other people's distance. We can honor needing to keep safe. At the same time, the sun and the moon are making a wide trine to Neptune. And so a trine is an easy aspect. This is an aspect where these energies are working together. And the energy of Neptune is that energy of big ideas, of dreams, of visions. And so it also can be confusion and not really knowing what's what. But that's kind of the lower vibe of Neptune. And so I would invite all of us to invoke the higher vibe of Neptune, of dreams, of visions, of this is a great time to visualize, visualize long-term, the kind of things that we want to see manifest in our lives. So this might be a good time to pull out our journals after the meditation and start writing down things that we want to manifest, to bring in, both in the next few weeks, like the new moon, and in the longer term, like Neptune. And so Martin and I are going to do some toning to help us bring those things to mind, manifest those, and ground those into ourselves and into this moment. So you're welcome. We would love it if you would join us wherever you are, and we're just going to make a sound with our mouths and create this vibration, a wave, a sound wave that will help us with this energy.
And again. And before we do that again, I'd like for you to think this time and feel that vibration in your chest as you just go as low as you can and allow that vibration to shake loose anything that needs to be moved. So take a deep breath into the belly. To release that energy. And as we hold this time together with those vibrations and connections, we take just a moment to hold the silence for ourselves and for all others in creating the new. And we'll take just a couple of moments or minutes to just be in peace. And now, as we gently, slowly feel ourselves rising back up the escalator, we feel the smooth motion of coming back to the here and the now. We allow ourselves to bring with us the energies, the healing, the awareness that we have received. with an opportunity to bring that with us into this day, into this process. And when you're ready, just begin to wiggle your toes or your fingers. Allow yourself to become connected with the physical again. And when you're comfortable and ready, you can open your eyes, feeling gratitude.
Well, thank you for joining us. We will be doing our next meditation, which will be a full moon meditation, on August 3rd. So, until then, namaste.
Namaste.